Welcome to Cohort 1986. I'm Rodney,
I'm Candace.
and today we have a special marketplace discussion with Miss Sophia Johnson. Candace, I want you to read more and tell us more about Miss Johnson.
Yes, Miss Johnson. So I actually reached out to Miss Johnson via Facebook. And I was like, she seems like a pretty interesting person. The first thing that really drew me in was the
Mm-hmm.
fact that she does organic soaps. Anybody who knows me knows that I love soap. I love
And so,
anything that goes with bathing.
Yeah.
So I do want to welcome her to our show today. So, guys, this is going to be a wonderful show. She is amazing. Rodney and I had some time to catch up with her backstage prior to the show, but I do want to give you guys some of her biography. So, the name of her company is SoFreshSmells. Is a family-run company that provides affordable, all-natural products for unique home body care and for your pets. Each product has healing properties derived directly from the earth. All of our products are handmade using the healing powers of essential oils and ingredients from the earth.
mm,
So, with that, I don't want to give away too much, right? So, Miss Johnson, is there anything that you would like to say to introduce yourself as well before we get started?
Well, we have to reinvent ourselves with all
right.
this going on, and so with the birth of So Fresh Smells, I had to come. I had to come with the creativity, and I had to come with all the natural. So I'm ready to tell my story, and I'm excited to be here.
All right, let's
Yay!
hear it up for Mrs. Johnson.
Yes,
Let's get to it.
welcome.
All right, so Miss Johnson, so
Yes.
where are you from?
I am a native of Phoenix, Arizona. Born
Wow.
and raised, yes, born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, wow.
In the South Side too. So the South Side of Phoenix.
I've always wanted to
Yeah.
go to Phoenix. Like, I've never been.
Yeah, we haven't been to
Oh,
Phoenix yet.
it's beautiful. You guys, you have a place to come if you want to make it out this way. I
Yeah,
will welcome you.
we're definitely gonna make it out that way. So I always ask this question because I'm always so intrigued. So when you were growing up, what is it that you wanted to be when you were growing up?
Well, when I was growing up, I was always involved in just helping people. I was
Hmm.
I was always the person people would go to when they had issues. So I probably thought about being a counselor,
Wow.
Wow.
and just trying to, help others get through, difficult life choices. I didn't think I would be a teacher.
Wow.
So the way all that happened, so I graduated from ASU with my
Hmm.
bachelor's degree. But first and foremost, what grounded me with working with children was my high school experience. I was always involved with sports, of course.
Cool.
Always had teachers around me that mentored me and always saw the best in me, and so those
Right.
people kind of shaped me for, what I would entail later in life. So my high school I went to was South Mountain High School. It's,
Okay.
it's very, very known for just being in South Phoenix. And so when I went to South, I was a very well known, the popular girl. I was a popular girl. Always had, straight A's, so no, never had a problem in school. So
Mhm.
I was always that testimony coming out of South Mountain High School. And
Wow.
so upon graduating with my degree, I came back and I started teaching at South Mountain because I wanted to make a difference with the kids that were struggling, trying to get out of high school. And so I became a sponsor for our step team,
Wow.
and
Wow.
oh my God, that was just the highlight of my. I did that for like 10 years, 10, 15 years,
Wow.
Wow.
just sponsored a step team. And these young men and women were amazing. Like we would go to competitions in like other states. So I would get these kids on the plane and we would fly to like Georgia, we would fly to Texas, and we would win first place. These
Wow.
kids
Okay.
awesome. They were like, Phoenix,
Wow.
what do you mean? Like, okay. And I mean, and they would tease us because we had the kids so disciplined that
Wow.
like when we were at a competition, they were not allowed to talk to anyone. They had to sit and focus. They were very disciplined. The kids were like, why they sitting like that? You know,
Right.
they would get on
Right.
the stage, they would wreck shop, and when they got off the stage, they could do whatever they wanted to do.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
well, for right now, you're focused on your performance. And they did it.
Wow.
And they loved it, you know?
See, Rodney, I wish I had known that because we could have got us a little.
Yeah, yeah. Well, look.
We had a little bit of fun.
Yes.
So, Ms. Johnson,
So that was amazing. So, that was just one of the highlights of, coming back into the community that you were born and raised
right.
in and to help out other kids. And so, when I would see them misbehaving, I'd say, listen, I know your mother. I
Yep.
know your aunts. I know your uncle. Do I need to call them? Now you don't know okay. So I will call and say, you want to talk to her? And so it's like, oh,
But you
she
know what?
does know my family. So then, it just helped the kids, just to acclimate, understand, like, I will, I'm here to help you, not hurt you. So
Right. But Miss Johnson, so would you describe like kind of your childhood kind of shaped you into being a teacher, the way you grew up?
it really did because, a lot of our kids, and they're still struggling, but a lot of our kids struggle with just having someone in a school setting
Wow.
that they can trust,
Yeah.
because here's the thing and I mean, I'm gonna date myself here for a minute, but
That's okay.
when I was growing up, we had teachers that looked like me.
Mm-hmm.
We had more teachers that looked like me than not. Now we're kind of lacking on those teachers that look like us. Like I can go, there may be, 5 teachers at South Mountain High School possibly that look like me, or that, because we're losing them. So kids need somebody. That's half the battle. When you have a child on campus that can look up to someone and know that they're safe if they go to this person and report anything, or just need a safe place to go because maybe, they're just having a rough start, it just makes their school life, all the better.
Wow, that is just so powerful.
Yeah.
And that's something there that I really want to unpack, right? So, not only did you grow up in that particular community, but you went back to that community to help and to be a blessing to others. And it really does make a difference, when you think about role modeling. You always want to see people who look like you.
Right.
You always want to be around people that's like, okay, I know your mama, I know your grandma, I know your aunt. So they can go down the list.
I made that call in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
Right. I walk around with my cell phone like, what? What'd you say? I'm ready. Speed dial. So then I would even show them the yearbooks. Like they would look and I said, look at your aunt in this yearbook. This was our freshman, year or whatever. And so it just bought in, they bought into me, and you build that relationship and it makes it easier.
Wow, that's awesome.
So, as far as you being a teacher, you did 29 years.
Yeah.
I did.
And so, what kind of made you just kind of want to shift gears to do something else? And what kind of went into that?
Well, I don't know if you guys had I don't know if you knew about the Red for Ed movement. That was a lot going on. It was like
I do kind of remember that.
That was the Red for Ed movement, and things were just getting really tough in the school system. Teachers were feeling burned out. We were like, oh my God, when are we going to get raises? The kids, there was just no real accountability for us, and it was frustrating. And so with the Red for Ed movement, we started to do the walk-ins or the walkouts, and we were getting scrutinized for it. We did our march downtown, and we were out for, I believe it was like at least 14 days. We shut schools down, and we were getting scrutinized behind it, and we finally went on ahead and came back in. They negotiated some salary. Of course, it was it was a horse and pony, thing. And so after we came back, and it was kind of like we didn't really get what we wanted, but we just kind of sacrificed. That year, I just couldn't really get it back together.
Right.
My spirit was just kind of broken. And I was like, I just don't feel it anymore, because we do a lot for kids. And
You do.
teachers don't value teachers like we value teachers, growing up. A teacher, you didn't disrespect a teacher.
Exactly.
Nowadays, you got kids really cutting up. And okay, to be honest, let me just tell you, to be honest, I saw myself catching a case. And you got to, I think it's time. And it wasn't really with the kids, y'all. Y'all don't understand. The kids never put me to that level. It was the adults in the situation. It was some adults that I was like, I'm a native here. People know me. I can't be on the news because I done choked somebody.
Exactly. Have you on there?
And I gotta get them all since I'm getting, And so I was like, it's time.
Yeah.
So I did time. And so up on saying I'm done, that's when my brother and I kind of started looking at tiny homes, because we were thinking like, hey, let's get these homes together, because what if a pandemic or something hit? Or what if something happened where we didn't have anywhere to go? What if something else happened in the world? So this is our conversation before COVID even hit. And so we were like, let me go ahead and research. So upon researching on YouTube and looking at people that build homes and the HGTV shows, we didn't see anybody that really looked like us.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So we said, well, I guess we're going to have to go on and make it happen. And so we documented 15 episodes of us doing these container homes from start to finish. Wow. So you can actually see us doing it from the beginning to the end.
That's so cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
I love watching those shows because I'm all about like HGTV at night and like the tiny homes. And
it's hilarious.
I kind of like it too. I'm admitting it. I kind of like it too.
Yeah. So if you get a chance, you can look it up on YouTube. It's called Green Desert TV. And it's a very the website in general, the YouTube station is amazing because it talks a lot about self-sufficiency and gardening and planting and medicinal things as far as home remedies. And then there's an off-grid playlist. Wow. So that playlist is the one where, but so in doing that, I took my retirement out. Yeah. Because, we had to have some type of capital. So I just went ahead and retired and pulled my capital out and we went shopping. And I mean, that was the best thing because we were just like, we picked out cabinets, we picked out windows, we picked out the flooring, you know what I'm saying? It was just, and we were doing a lot of the work. Right. So in those videos, you'll see me like putting together a vinyl floor, me holding a hammer, right? Me painting the tongue and groove, I would never have thought I'd be talking about. But because when I left teaching, I was so heavy, just burned. That process helped me to free myself again because it was hard work, but it also took my mind to a different place. So the stress of everything just melted away.
Wow.
So
that's so cool.
I got a few words, and I just want you to tell me what these words mean to you. Freedom, peace of mind, and legacy. Yeah. What do they mean to you?
That's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Right.
That's exactly what I'm doing right now. And when you're doing anything along those lines, you don't have stress. You're not really worried about the next person, the next day. You're not worried. You in your lane, right? You in your lane. You like it's stuff is falling down all around me, but I'm in my lane. I know my destination. I know where I'm going, and I'm not letting anybody get me off track.
Wow. Woo.
I mean, that's really
Somebody got to rewind that one back. Okay. Rewind that back. Not
yes,
only are you in your lane, but when you have those shifts in your life, sometimes it just feels like, I don't know what's going to happen. But if you just shift and just
right.
go, and
Yes,
I mean, sometimes those shifts, they bring freedom, they bring
yes,
peace, and they free your mind.
Right.
yes,
They free your
yes,
mind. So
yes.
that was a blessing. I have chill bumps. I got chills. Right.
It's amazing.
It
This,
is, and when I read that, I was just like, I have to ask her about this because
Yes.
she wrote this down here for a purpose,
yeah.
and it matters.
Well, yeah.
And so in addition to like the container homes, so you guys have multiple container homes, correct?
Yeah, my brother had one, and then I put one down for my husband and I when we, travel. And this is on family land. Land has been in our family over 100 years. So my mother, so we built on her acreage. So her parents left the 26 acres to their children.
Wow.
Beautiful, right? So every year, whenever we would go down to Texas, my mother still has her parents' home where we could stay. And
Yeah.
so we liked that, but we decided we were like, well, let's just develop mom's property, which is like 9 acres just to herself. But when you go down there, you gotta visualize. My mom has two sisters that live down there on the 26 acres. She had one sister has 7 kids, the other has like 6 or 7 kids as well.
Mhm.
So when you're talking about a whole 26 acres, we actually have a community
Yes, you
Right, you
do.
do.
that you can just ride a little ATV across the land or just walk across the
Woo.
land, and you're just like, hey family, what's up?
Yes.
And the
Yes.
great thing about that is that they're all musicians somewhat. And so they
Ooh.
all have
Wow.
their separate bands. But when we come together for a porch jam, it's on. Like, yeah,
Wow.
it's a beautiful experience. You'll see some if you watch some of the episodes,
Yes.
you'll see
Yes.
some of the jam sessions that we did have down there. But it's just amazing. Like, and we want to show the world that it's possible for you to have your land, have your legacy, have your freedom, and be able to because where we are, we're 4 miles from a small town.
Mhm. Wow.
So you're
Yeah,
in a,
you out there.
Y'all got
it's a
your own
small
town.
town, but then you drive 4 miles away from that town and you're just in rural. So there's no police coming to say, hey, your music's too loud. You need to turn
Right.
that down. Or what's going on out here? Nothing. We don't have any of that. So that right there is peace.
Mm, mm,
Mm,
mm, mm.
mm, mm, mm.
I
Yeah.
tell you what, I want to go to one of these jam sessions
Me
Right.
because
too.
I
Right.
love me some live music.
Oh
Right,
my
really
God.
do.
We love live
Oh my
music. So during the pandemic, like, how have you guys kind of coped with that?
Yeah.
It seems that you were kind of prepared for it.
And that was the beautiful thing. It was mind-boggling because we started building the containers. Okay, so I turned 50
Mhm.
2 years ago.
Mhm.
So that's when we started building the containers. My birthday is September 6th. We took off on the road September 8th and followed our container homes behind the diesels that were driving them down because we moved them from Arizona. We followed them down to Texas, right? So September 8th. So we were building down there. We finished up in December of that same year,
Mhm.
uh, just the first part of our phase, which is where
Right.
you'll see all the documentation. And we went back in March of the following year, which would be 2019, I believe.
Okay.
Um, because is that when COVID came out? Was it the ninth?
Yep.
2020.
20.
2020. So March of 2020, right after the kids came out of spring break, I remember now. We were in Texas for the second phase of things. And so when COVID hit and everything went locked down, we were like, I wasn't even in Phoenix, but we were on 26 acres of land. So it wasn't a real lockdown for us.
No.
We still had, we were in fresh air, we were building, we were just kind of doing the things that we wanted to do. So it wasn't restricted for us.
That's a beautiful thing.
you
That is
know.
a beautiful thing.
And so, just a simple fact of the matter that we actually had followed through with the idea of doing the containers, we were like, wow, we actually have a place to be.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
we were doing solar oven cooking rice. You'll see on one of the
Oh
episodes. So
wow.
we have a solar oven down there. So we were actually like still filming documentaries, and and it was amazing. I was like, wow. So this is where I know I want to go
Yeah.
when
Right.
things hit the fan in the city. We
Yeah.
have a place to go. You know.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I actually have two questions. One, you've already kind of hit on with the legacy, right? And the land being in your family for hundreds of years, and like how important it is to keep that tradition going. Um,
Right.
so my first question is, what would you say to encourage others when it comes to, keeping land, keeping property, in the family and finding ways to utilize it?
Keeping land in the family is one of the most important things that you can do
Right.
because you have something to barter with. You
Mm.
have something to barter with. You have a space, and with so many DIYs,
Mhm.
and you can build and expand. I mean, and yes, there's still permits and licensing that you have to go through, but so what?
Yeah.
You can put your own house on your land,
Mhm.
build it the way you want to build it. Like you could be so much creativity that you can do when you have your own space to do it.
Yeah.
But I hear stories all the time with people selling their homes, and like I'll just tell you, the home I'm in right now that you see right behind me, I was born in this home. My
Wow.
father built and added rooms on in this house. This home has history. I will never get rid of this home. It is no mortgage on this home.
Wow.
So that's one of the reasons why I can walk away from 29 years of teaching. I didn't make it to the retirement age. That's okay. I walked away because it was time.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
don't have a mortgage over my head, hanging over my head, that I had to sit back and be like, how am I going to pay this mortgage? It's paid for.
Wow.
That's the beautiful thing. I
Freedom.
don't have that stress, you
Beautiful.
know? Because maybe things would have been different if I did have this big old mortgage, because some people think the bigger the better. No, 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 no.
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
now you can handle that, but I mean, I'm not that one. I want to live simpler,
Yep.
and you can't take it all with you.
That's
Mm.
it. That's it.
Mm.
So,
Man, there's just so much I
It's
want to
it's
know about
it's,
you and
it's just
your
like one quote sticks out to me.
ah.
Uh, Somebody said, "God ain't building no more land.
Hey,
Utilize what you got. It's a blessing to have it."
it's a
So,
blessing.
I just kind of want to talk about So Fresh Smells. Like, what compelled you to start that, and what was that process of getting up and running?
All right. So what made me start it was actually the containers, because after completing that, like, it was so liberating and so freeing. I was like, well, now I'm coming back to Arizona. What am I going to do? Because I was feeling like, oh my God, we just created this wonderful, thing. We did these episodes. So now what can I do?
yeah.
So I also thought about our gray water system, which the
Hmm.
water from our house flows out into a gray water system where it feeds plants and nourishes, still our gardens. So, and the water recycles. So with that, you can't use any chemicals, of course, because you don't want
Right.
to recycle that into your
Right.
water. So
Right.
I was like, so I got to create something that, like, when we come down here and use our water and our stuff in our containers, I want it to be a natural, process. So when I came back home, that's when I started researching. And I mean, I was reading books, and I was looking on YouTube, and I was just learning all about how to make soap, how
Wow.
to make soap. And I learned that there's so many different processes, and each process has its own way of doing it. But for me, I wanted to know exactly what was in my products.
Mm.
Right.
Meaning,
Right.
I wanted to I wanted to hand pick my oils. You can hand pick your oils, hand pick your cocoa butter, mango butter, shea butter. You can hand pick those, put them together, get a formula,
Yeah.
create a soap. I was
Mm.
nervous about lye, you know,
Right.
Yeah.
but I got over it. I got past the lye water mixture, and because when you mix that lye with water, it's hot. And then I started thinking about us as women, like, and we used to get perms.
Woo! Them days
Count
are over with.
with this mess. I'm like, so I that lye is nothing to play with, and for us to
Yeah.
continue putting it in our bodies and on our hair, I was like, yeah, I will never have a perm ever again, and my daughters will never get. You're not getting perms.
Yeah.
We're not doing lye.
So do you grow most of like the different like herbs that you use in your essentials?
So that's the story of SoFreshSmells and Green Desert, which is my brother. They're the gardeners. So they have all the product. And so SoFreshSmells and Green Desert came together. And so I get moringa powder, they have a moringa tree. They grow the how do you say it? Chamomile. I always get
Chamomile.
I say it
We
both
said
ways.
I said chamomile.
I know
Chamomile. We know
lavender,
what you're talking about.
so I get products from them because they have their whole green desert in the backyard, and so I just go over there and grab whatever I need and make my products.
That is
Yeah,
awesome. That is
yeah.
awesome.
So brother and sister, we can work together.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, remind me to tell my sister that.
Yeah.
Right.
Me and my
I
brother
mean,
we do pretty well,
right. I mean, I still want to, you still want to, but let me get my moringa first, and then 'cause he's my younger brother, and
Yeah.
the younger brother, but
Oh, I understand. Like my younger brother, I do have to give him credit. So our logo, he's a graphic designer.
He did the
So
logo.
he did our logo and
okay,
he also helps us with branding and so forth. So
yeah,
but sometimes I want to
you just
Yeah,
real quick.
I love him to death. Love you,
Love him
Walter.
It's all good, Walter. Good job.
Yes, yes. So I have to ask you, I know I also read in your bio that you do a lot of clean eating. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh yes. So that was part of the journey. My mom went with us when we started the first leg of our containers, and so she was our personal chef, right?
Right.
So my mom would make breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Mm.
So we would get up 8 o'clock. I mean, and she was like on it, like get up, it's time to eat. It was always oatmeal. So we had our oatmeal nice and hot in the morning with raisins in it, and she would put our nuts in there and a little bit of butter, a little bit of sugar, not too much. She wouldn't give me sugar. Sophia, you don't get sugar. I said, so why? She's like, anyway, she's so hilarious. But my mom is 78 and in the best shape of
Yes,
ever. So
yes, Mama.
yeah, so we would have our breakfast, and then we would go off to work because we work 8 acres away from her parents' home. So then we'd walk over to our containers,
Wow.
and she'd call us over for lunch. And so it was a plant-based diet that she had us on.
Mm.
And so plant based, meaning we did lots of whole grains, beans, lots of vegetables, had our fiber, and that was just everything, all that was all day. That was all day. And I'll tell you, when I first started eating that way, it was a challenge for me because coming from teaching, teachers we don't have the best. We eat when we can eat. We shoving stuff down during lunch, or we not eating because we just a hectic day. So having to do that, literally, like I think it changed my life. I
Yeah.
think that that had something to do with my whole thought process being clearer. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I lost 25 pounds
Wow.
just eating differently and then working on the container. I mean, we were sweating. I mean, it was, and then walking, you know, eight acres away, you're walking. I got more walking done.
Wow.
And the biggest change for me was my thyroid. You know,
Mm.
my thyroid numbers changed dramatically. It was amazing. The doctor was saying, what are you doing?" Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I'm just eating plant-based meals. And they were like, that's it. I mean, when I say changed, it was at an 8, and you don't want it to be higher than a 10. So I was on the rise.
Right.
And so when I first started eating it, I had to get my blood work drawn
Yeah.
probably like 3 months after I started eating plant-based. My blood work came back and it had dropped from an 8 to a 5, right?
Wow.
So the doctor called and said, "Well, your numbers look really good. Like it dropped down from being an 8." And I was like, "Oh." So I was like, "Okay." So then another 3 months, I got more blood work and it came back to be a 3.
Wow.
Mm.
I said, "Is this real? Like, are you guys? Is this my blood? You know?" So
Right.
just because, when can you eat differently and really see that's the secret that nobody really wants to tell you, though.
Mm.
That just changing certain things out of your diet can bring your numbers back into
Yeah.
alignment.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
it's not really the medication because that is what's paying them
Yeah.
the big pharmas and. So and they might cut y'all off now. I don't want to be. I don't want to. I'm just
Nah,
saying.
this our platform.
It's our platform.
I'm just saying that the big pharma is they don't want that secret to be. They want you to continue doing just what you're doing so that they can
So
you know
what's one of your favorite meals to eat?
Oh my God. I went, and see, that's the thing about me, y'all. I don't just do something small. Like if I got to do something, I'm going all the way out. So like I became like a
I
full
feel you.
blown chef. I was a whole chef making all these new meals. My husband was
Master
like, "What
chef.
is going on?" I'm like, "Hey, this is what's happening. We get ready to eat this way." And so I did. I went and and I just had to put my own spin on things.
Mhm.
But if I really, it's a lot of brown rice. It's a lot of I don't know what became a favorite. I don't. Here's the thing. I don't really eat for what is it? I eat to live. Like I eat to live. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Once you start to train your mindset, like it may be boring,
Mhm.
but it's good for you.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
I've learned how to not make it so bland, but to make it taste good. But it's
Mhm.
just, people get bored with just eating the same way all the time. But you don't understand. You get what your body needs. You
Yeah.
eat what your body needs, not what you want. You
Yeah.
know, and
I
it's just a
know I'm tired
mindset.
of chicken. I
I'm
am
tired of
I
chicken.
am tired of chicken. Like we were just saying the other day, we're like, I'm so tired of eating
Yeah,
meat. Like
yeah.
I just had like an epiphany of them. Like, you know what? I'm kind of tired of meat.
yeah.
And sometimes taking a break is good. You can get your proteins, other ways. You can get your protein, beans, lentils, a lot of that stuff you can just, chickpeas are a high source of protein.
Oh, I didn't know
Or hummus, you can do hummus.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's just really training your taste buds. Because once your taste buds are okay,
that.
it's that's half the battle.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Miss Johnson, so you also have a documentary in the works. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Ooh, I'm so excited about that because I was just asked to be one of the leaders in the community to just kind of tell my story, just like I'm doing with you guys.
Oh wow.
But this is way more extensive. You guys are letting me just talk. I'm just
Yes.
freeballing.
Flow
But
right
for the documentary, it was just all different sorts of Black entrepreneurs that are just up and coming in the valley, and we got a chance to tell our story in more or less like I'd say like 20, 25 minutes, so some good stuff, but not real extensive. But I'm excited. I don't know when it's coming out, but I will share it with you guys when
Yeah,
it
well, we
does
will
come
share with
out.
the audience as well. We
Yeah,
guarantee it.
I'm looking forward to it because it's like I've heard all about the container homes. I've heard
Yes.
about the clean eating, your products. So can you tell us a little bit more about your products and like who should try these products? Who should use them? As
Oh, anybody needs to use anybody. So, and I make it. So my whole thing is my niche is I make. Um, I call it the giving basket. So
hmm,
it's a biodegradable
wow.
planter. Let me see if I have one around here. It's a biodegradable planter that a person could reuse once the product is out. So I make
Oh
sure my
wow.
products are small enough to fit in the little bath. Like this is a little bath salt, right? And the jar is reusable, and you can just kind of dump that in your tub. Hey, can you give me something? These are some of the room sprays that I make. So like this is like a pineapple cilantro. And so,
Hmm.
it smells amazing, but natural, you're not getting all of your extra additives in there. They're
Yeah.
right here, baby.
Yes, yes, yes.
I make my soap, my body bars. I didn't
Yes.
bring stuff in front of me, but let me just grab a few little things.
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
These are the biodegradable planters, and so
Oh
basically
wow.
they're not real big, but I mean once you're done using it,
Mm-hmm.
my products just kind of I put my little stuff in there, and I just kind of just put everything in there, and then wrap it up with a nice bow, and I can ship these out. I ship these out all over, so people can say, "Hey, I got a birthday coming up. Can I?"
Yeah.
Can I purchase a $25 basket or can I get a $30 basket or what,
Right.
and they tell me what they want in there, but they give me their budget. And I
Right.
just kind of,
Nice.
So Ms.
yeah,
I'm
Johnson,
excited.
so like if we wanted to purchase a basket,
Yeah.
where would we be able to find you?
you can find me at SoFreshSmells.com. That's
Okay.
my website. And I have the options on there of all my products that I make.
Nice.
A lot of times, so there, I even do like, I have one body butter. Not doing any more. This one has moringa powder in it,
Mm.
and moringa powder is amazing. If you don't know much about moringa powder, it has vitamin A, vitamin C,
Mm.
potassium, calcium. People do it in smoothies, or I
Mhm.
actually diffuse the oil and make it in my products, and so you can put it on your body. So this is moringa powder here at the bottom.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so what I do is I pour my oils in here and it just soaks up this moringa powder. And that's what I make my products from. And my
Look,
husband.
I'm just gonna say something, y'all. Y'all better go on the website and order because that's what I'm about to do.
Right.
I'm about to order a whole bunch of stuff.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
And so this is so what I did for Mother's Day this year is I
Hmm.
said, give your mother the gift of health and wellness. So I put
Mm.
together like a full moringa basket for, just to make it different for mother. And so I have this moringa powder. This has
Mhm.
turmeric powder and activated charcoal all in one.
Wow.
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 So this is my Tierra Milagro. Let me say it again. My husband comes up with the names. Tierra Milagro. What does
Ooh.
that
Good
Ooh.
mean?
job, hubby.
Tierra Milagro.
Miracle.
I like
Yeah,
that.
Tierra Milagro.
Milagro.
And so that was awesome. And so they got, like I said, Green Desert and So Fresh Smells coming together. So this is their dried moringas. This is a tea that you can use.
Mm.
And so this was in my basket. This was a moringa tea, dried leaves, and it's fresh from a tree from the driveway. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So
You got all my favorite stuff. All my favorite stuff. You got my body butter. You got my tea.
The
You got
teeth.
my all the room sprays.
I have natural deodorants. Oh, I have a
Mm.
deodorant
Oh,
back here. Yep, natural deodorants I
nice.
make. And my husband is my brand ambassador. So any label you see, my husband has created it.
Go
All the
ahead,
different. So he's like, "You're
husband.
making something new?" I'm like, "Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm making a new product." He's like, "Okay."
He does a great job.
All the labels, right? You know
Nice.
how we do.
Nice. Give it up for
So
hubby.
yeah,
I know I'm thankful for mine because he does like all the technical stuff and make sure everything is
yeah,
uploaded.
Say that one more time for the camera.
No,
yeah.
no, 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 no. You get one
One more
shout
time,
out.
Candy. One more time. Look, come here, Jason. Come here, Jason. Oh yeah, he did the logo too. Where's my logo? Yeah, I don't know if I sent it,
Wow.
but here's the hubby. Come here, hubby.
Come on,
He's
hubby.
steady.
Come on
He's
in.
steady handing me stuff. He's steady handing me stuff.
Behind the scenes.
Hey.
So here's my logo. And so he makes
Nice.
it where we can stick it on the bag, it's on my cards.
Nice.
And so
Awesome.
So Fresh Smells, it's more than a concept. It's a brand. It's more than a brand.
Yes.
It's a concept. He don't be messing up my stuff. It's more than a
Yes.
brand. It's a concept. That's him.
Yes.
More than a brand, it's a
More than a
concept.
brand.
So yeah,
It's a concept. I love that. I
right.
love that. So I
Because what
do
started So Fresh Smells was really.
have.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just about
Oh,
to ask you the same thing.
yeah. Well, what started it was, social media was taking over my daughters. Because when COVID hit, we went to this whole virtual thing, so they lost the social,
Aspect of
interaction with
everything.
kids, and so they went to this whole. They was just like glued to their phones and TikTok and reaching
Mhm.
out to people that they didn't know. So I started it because I wanted. My daughter makes lip gloss. And so
Oh,
that's
Oh,
how we started it. I wanted her to have her own brand, and so she did. She makes lip gloss and chapstick. So I have two chapsticks, and I have 6 lip glosses that she is in control of. That's her little, her brand. And so when she was doing that, that's when I broke off and started doing all the other products because I said if I'm gonna use it, I'm gonna make it.
yes,
COVID not
yes.
coming. COVID not coming in here.
I know that's right.
hey, well,
I know
hey,
that's
well,
right.
you're not welcome here.
COVID not coming in here. So, I made I just started making everything. My husband was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yes. Yes." Because what else am I doing? I retired
Yeah,
from
yeah.
teaching. I've got to do something,
Right, right.
Yep, yep.
you know. I can't sit around here I retired to do what I wanted to do, not to
Say
do what
that.
everybody wanted.
Say that again. I can't wait till I can
Right.
say those words that I have
Right.
retired to
Yeah.
do what I want to do.
I
Right.
What I
desire,
want to do.
no, what I desire to
What
do.
I desire to do. Yes. It makes a difference when you wake up like, what am I going to do today?
Right.
Right.
And so starting this business was something we just really had to fumble through. We didn't know how to, start a business, but I did the research. I found the Secretary of State. So I started with the LLC, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Did the EIN, got the tax ID number.
Yeah.
But even in doing that, had to build a website. We sitting there trying to put images and write
Yep.
just a whole. I was like, this is taking a whole lot of time.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I'm still making product because once I launched, like when I made my first batch of soap, it went so quick. I was like, so I was making product. I said, hubby, you have to do whatever this is. I just want to make product. That's all I want to do.
You are now the marketing manager, and you're the technology
Right.
specialist.
Right. Right.
I just got to make product. And so, and then I just learned over the course of a month ago that like my business wasn't even structured properly. So that's a whole nother gamut as far as
Mm-hmm.
making sure you're structured the way you need to be structured so that you can look like a corporation without the
Correct.
corporation funding. Yeah, you
Correct.
understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
Like gotta get
Yes.
your virtual commercial address,
Yes.
all of this stuff. And I'm like, so I'm still learning.
Yes.
Right.
I'm still learning,
Yes.
but it's never too late. It's never too late to learn.
It
And
isn't.
so I
Never,
It
now
never too late.
have, it's never too late.
And I have to shout out like our friends over at New Generation Investment Group. We gave them our information to set up our LLC, to structure our business,
Yeah.
to make sure everything was filed
Yes.
correctly.
I couldn't imagine doing that
And
myself
they got it done.
Right.
And I said, thank you very much.
Yes. Yes.
because you got to
Yes. It's
delegate those
amazing.
tasks to other places.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome. So I have to ask you. Well, I know Ronnie wants to ask you. Go ahead, Ronnie.
Yes, yes.
So what does your quote mean? And still I
So,
rise.
what does it mean to you?
What does it mean to me is that, I mean, it seems like when I shift, I, I make sure that I cover all my bases when I'm shifting and I'm
Mhm.
looking for different avenues or I'm doing different avenues. I make sure that, I cover all my bases and I could be down. I could be down. I could be
Mhm.
beaten. I could be broken. I mean, there's been things that have happened in my life that I feel like, I mean, losing my father, losing my brother, murder. There's a lot that happens in life, but I
Right.
Yeah.
still rise. I
Mm.
still rise. And I refuse to go down, you
Hmm.
know?
Mm.
And still I rise. Like,
Wow.
people, and I think people really shake their head like,
Hmm.
you always rolling into something and you always doing something and it's
Mhm.
always amazing,
Mhm.
and I thank God for that, first of all,
Yes.
because
Yes.
I know I couldn't do it without him. I
That's
know I
it.
Right.
couldn't
That's
do it
it.
without him, but I am definitely blessed by something.
Yes.
My
Right.
Yes.
husband is a pastor, so I left that out. My husband is a pastor, so I'm sure he be praying for me all the time.
Yes. 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 Tell him to add us
Lord.
to the list
Add us
too.
to the list.
Add us to the list.
I know he prays for me, and so with that in mind, you have to have the willpower. You have to make sure that you're leaving a legacy and setting an example for others to follow. You
Right.
know, because they're watching.
Mm.
People watch and they watch for consistency. Like when I first started this business, people were waiting to see, oh, how long is she gonna do this? How long is she? And I have been consistent. It's only been, I think next month, September 16th, it will be a year
Wow.
Wow.
only. Yeah. So, and I should have. I think I'm gonna plan some type of big thing for my 1 year,
Do it.
anniversary
Do it.
date, and just like, oh, I've been in business for a year,
Yes. You're doing it,
and I'm
girl.
still going strong. People still call me. People still come back. So I must have something good.
Yes,
Yes.
So,
you
and still I rise.
got you, Miss Johnson.
Wow.
And then finally, I just want you to tell us where you see yourself in the next 5 years,
Mhm.
and just one big tip that you have for new entrepreneurs.
For new entrepreneurs, the one tip that I've learned mostly is make sure you're setting your business up properly.
Mhm.
Make
Mm.
sure you spend that money and invest in yourself first of all.
Right.
Now,
Yes.
investing in yourself could mean hiring a person that will, like, you guys, you sent
Mhm.
your stuff over to someone and you let them take care of it for you, but that's investing in yourself, making sure it's
Right.
done right, because you're missing out on benefits that could be afforded
Hmm.
to you
That's
if it's not. So make sure you do it right. Don't half do it. If you're gonna do it, then
Do it
do it.
all the way.
do
Do
it.
it. Don't just be like, I'm just gonna put one for, no, just do it.
Mhm.
Um, and then where do I see myself in 5 years? Oh my God, like, my ideas will not turn off. Y'all don't understand. It's like right now with the whole business credit
Yes.
thing, I'm ready to move into a whole new arena with the whole, letting my business leverage capital, where
Yes.
Right.
I'm separating business and personal.
Yes, yes, yes. That's
So
our
my
friends over
business,
at New Generations
Exactly.
Investment Group.
yes,
Yes, they talk about
separating
all of
business.
that.
Yes, and getting the cars under the business and getting
Yes,
the home or the Airbnbs or whatever we want to talk about, but all that in under my business and just creating wealth,
Mm,
love it,
I love
love
creating
it.
it,
wealth.
love it, love it.
You
And,
know,
Ms. Johnson, where can people find you at again? I want everybody to reach out to you,
Yeah,
buy your products, support you. Where
yes.
can they do that at?
they can reach out to me at SoFreshSmells.com.
Okay.
I'm also on Amazon Handmade. So
Oh,
like if you
okay.
just, because we shop Amazon all the time. So I figure
All
you
the
can
time.
just type in So Fresh Smells on Amazon. You'll find some products. I also have an Etsy site, so I'm on Etsy. So Fresh Smells, my Etsy shop.
Nice.
Um, my Facebook is So Fresh Smells Natural Soaps on Facebook.
Okay.
My Instagram is So Fresh Smells. So
Nice.
you if you type in So Fresh Smells, you're gonna find me.
Look, that's
Right.
branded.
I'm keeping it simple. And then my email is
Okay.
info@sofreshsmells.com.
Perfect. And her information, guys, will also be on our website. So there will be a link to this particular interview as well as her logo that would take you directly
To
to
her
her
site.
site. So you ain't got to do too much looking. Just go over to our community.
Right there.
Everything will be right there for you.
Right. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. And thank you so much for agreeing to come on our platform. We really
Yes.
do appreciate it. Ken,
We
let's give her a
do.
round of applause.
Yes.
This was
Thank
my
you. Thank
pleasure.
you. Thank you.
No
My
Thank you.
problem.
pleasure.
And before we go, I do want to make an announcement.
Yeah.
We will be giving away a T-shirt,
Okay.
a
Yeah.
special made cohort 1986 T-shirt.
Okay.
And so all you have to do is to enter the contest. You have to like and comment,
Yes.
and then you will be officially entered, and we will do a drawing in 2 weeks
And also share too.
and share as
Okay.
well.
And so, Ronnie, where can people find us? Because I
People-
can never remember.
People can find us on cohort1986.com.
Okay.
We're on Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram,
Okay.
Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
When we get those interns, maybe TikTok.
Please,
Yeah.
we want interns. We
Yes.
want
They
interns.
are
And then,
amazing.
yeah, and then we're also on all the other podcast formats:
Yeah.
Apple, Spotify, Breaker, Anchor. We're on all those platforms as well.
Wow. I wish the best for both of you. This is an amazing thing that you guys are doing, and I'm very proud of both of
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
And we
Thank
we
you.
also
I
wish the
received
best for you
that.
as well.
Yes, we do. We
Thank
do.
you.
All
Thank
right.
you. All right, guys, that's it for us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I had
You
a
guys
good
have a wonderful
time.
day.
Yes. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.